1996, when I was just 10 years old, my mother died under suspicious circumstances.
Anthony lost his mother in 1996 when he was only 10. The cause of death was undetermined. After years of searching for answers,
8 years later, barely 18 years old and fresh out of Pendleton Juvenile Facility, my father, by definition, committed the crime of murder. He was sentenced to 65 years in the Indiana Department of Corrections. In 2010, I escaped from jail and went on the run from Indiana and became a bounty hunter, evading the cops while tracking down fugitives no one else could find. I was a wild man. I'm an outlaw. And I'm down to do outlaw shit. Drugs? I've tried them. Jail? Been there. Maximum security prison? Twice. And for years, I held anger, resentment. But then, in 2017, my life changed.
he found a passion to help others after the death of Abby and Libby.
2 girls were brutally slain in my hometown, and I went on the hunt for answers.
This year, Anthony held his first March for Justice event in Muncie.
Putting out missing flyers, we're putting out posters of suspects in different crimes, and it's basically to create unity within different families that are going through the same thing.
With my best friend, Michael J. Catt, we formed WKAT, a fan-funded news organization hell-bent on bringing you the truth. Together, we were boots on the ground, uncovering corruption, keeping it real, and getting the answers that you deserve.
Anthony Greeno says a new Indiana law is giving families of unsolved crimes newfound hope. The victims' rights law allows them to request a new investigation through the Indiana State Police.
At the peak of when we helped implement and educate the public with Senate Bill 177.
There are a lot of circumstances where individuals just feel hopeless, that the cases have went on for so long that there's just never going to be a resolution.
A can't stop, won't stop movement began.
The ultimate goal on this one is really just to raise awareness,
March for Justice,
and educate people on the new enrolled Act 177.
But then,
is to raise awareness for missing persons, unsolved murders.
Tragedy struck.
If you're a victim of an unsolved crime.
December 2021, my best friend died. Sadness overshadowed me, and a series of bad decisions led me to jail. And everything that we achieved and accumulated together was stolen, lost, deleted, forever. After a year in lockup, I came back with a new brand of true crime investigations into the missing, the murdered, with focus to solve the unsolved. We pushed back when outsiders tried to free a killer, and we came out victorious nearly 8 years after the crime. We weren't just voices. We were there. And for the last decade, together with you, I've developed a true crime community, a family of advocates dedicated to finding justice and to be a voice for the victims of unsolved crimes. My name is Anthony Greeno, and this is True Crime Investigates.
Shadows in the night with the blue moon turning you on your dome. Bum, 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 bebop, where do? Oh, and wheel wobble, wiggling little raccoons on the bottle, going off the chain like the bike bar, the full throttle. Every day, every night, I'm ready to defend my rights. Sworn that I can't be beat, never taking a loss. How does it feel to get owned by the final boss? I'm the raccoon whisperer, sipping truth from a mason jar. Wrote this verse on the back of a restraining order and sealed it with a punchline. Call me crazy, call me legend, but always call me the Greeno.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Let's start the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever the hell you're watching from, it's time. Anthony Greeno investigates the unsolved as we go inside a true crime. Inside a true crime. Inside.
At Utah Valley University, September 10th, 2025. The air felt ordinary, sun on concrete, phone cameras up, a tented stage in the courtyard. Charlie Kirk, 31, founder of Turning Point USA, steps to the mic and wades into questions. Voices rise, some cheer, some challenge. That's America, right? The cross-current, the argument, the promise.
Say confidently, no. God is not done with America, and our best days are ahead.
12:23 p.m., one shot, not a flurry, not chaos and gunfire, just a single, disciplined trigger squeeze from distance, high steel and flat roofline above the Losey Center. The round finds a neck. The stage folds into panic. Hands reach, bodies drop, someone screams, "Get down, get down." Sirens carve through the courtyard like teeth. Investigators say the shooter planned it. Not hours, days, a bolt-action rifle, stashed and ready, a rooftop bandage measured in yards, not feet. On the roof, a screwdriver, prints, DNA. On the weapon, more of the same. And somewhere between impulse and aim, a note. Words that point to intent. Words somebody would later say were destroyed. When the noise finally fades, the headlines don't. A nation is already arguing about speech, about hate, about whether words can draw blood, or just maps to it. They give a name. Tyler James Robinson, 22, Utah. A manhunt spreads across glowing screens. A father sees an image and recognizes a son. The messages surface. Had enough of his hatred. And prosecutors make their move. Aggravated murder, firearm discharge, obstruction, witness tampering, death penalty on the table. But the story twists before it tightens. A 71-year-old stranger steps out of the crowd and says, "I shot him. Now shoot me." He didn't. False confession, obstruction, and on his phone, something darker, unrelated, yet it stains the narrative just the same. The signal blurs with the noise. Truth has to claw its way back through the rumor mill. Then comes the funeral that feels like a rally. And the rally that feels like a reckoning. State Farm, stadium, flooded with bodies and grief. Flag scripture, thunderous applause, crashing against tears. Powerful men step to the mic and call him a martyr. Promises are made, enemies are named, and then a silence. Broken by a widow, Erica Kirk steps into a place no one wants to stand and says something that doesn't fit the script of vengeance.
I forgive him.
forgive him. She leaves the punishment to the state and the pain to God. Forgiveness offered into a room built for fury. You can feel the room sway. Closer, hushed. Meanwhile, the campus where it happened tries to breathe again. Students cross the same walkways. They look up at the same roof. They ask the question we all ask after the tape goes up and the chalk washes away. Why? Was it politics? Was it ideology? Was it the echo chamber that turns men into instruments? Or was it one person's choice, sharpened like a blade over a week of planning, carried to a rooftop, and released into a single irreversible moment? Freedom of speech, freedom to answer, freedom to condemn, freedom to forgive. But freedom never promised safety. At 12:23 in a courtyard under a tent, one bullet rewrote a life, a movement, maybe a moment in American history. And somewhere between the first siren and the last candle, a line was drawn, not in law, not in blood, but in the quiet question that lingers when the cameras leave, when words become targets.
Will light our country and all who serve it, and the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Who's really safe?
What's going on, YouTube? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, or wherever the hell you're watching from. I'm Anthony Greeno. Making sure I can hear myself here. What the hell is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Anthony Greeno. Welcome to True Crime Investigates. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at the Greeno Production Studio. And we are going to be talking about Charlie Kirk. Sterling was supposed to join me here. I don't know where he's at. He must have got fucked up and just been gone somewhere. But Sterling, if you're out there, you show up, hit me up, come on in. We'll talk about it. We'll still go over this. Even if you come in late, I don't plan on being on here a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a year. It's been a year. The Delphi case ended in November 11th. He was sentenced in December, and that was my final video. And I have moved beyond Delphi. And boy, has this last year been some shit. Let me tell you that. I've been through a lot of stuff in the last year, and it's still ongoing stuff. But you know what? We're back. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still making Murder on the Monon. It's been an up and down roller coaster with that. I've actually been working hard at it the last week. Plus trying to make videos and prepare for videos that we're going to be making now as we move out and beyond the Delphi murders case. Because as many of you know, I've built my whole life. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for the murders of Abby and Libby and the case against Richard Allen. So it's just been a long road. And after that ended, I was so emotionally just drained from the whole experience of the last 10 years of my life. I've had friends of mine die along the way. I've had friends commit murder. I've had friends commit self-harm. I've had girlfriends commit self-harm. And I've seen a lots of ups and downs when it comes to true crime, and especially the Delphi murders case. But it's after that case ended, I lost all passion to continue making true crime videos, because after that ended, I tried to cover one more case, and I wasn't there the whole time because I was going through some issues with the Carroll County comment, which we'll get into at a later time. And then the suspect, the murderer, was actually found not guilty. And that did something to me. That did something to me big time, because it really took me away. And just made me feel like so hurt for that family, Karina McClurkin's family in Kokomo. I just felt so hurt over that. And a falling out almost happened with a friend of mine, Marv, over this incident at the Carroll County Comet and stuff. But I want to let you guys know that, for the naysayers out there, I'm not going to engage in any kind of dramatics with going out and finding YouTube creators to just bash and belittle over their personal beliefs over a criminal case against another individual that neither one of us know. It's not worth it. It only hurts credibility. And from this point forward, I think that what I would like to do, it's been a year since I've done this, and I'm ready to get back in full force. I'm ready to start doing this. And this way, we're going to do it a little bit differently, ladies and gentlemen, because not only am I going to be providing you coverage here, but I'm actually going to be going to the locations and actually going on scene to these places, getting you the footage, being there, and just getting the answers that you deserve. So if you missed the intro video, I would suggest to go back, check it out. You guys are going to love it. I put a lot of work into this, and a lot of people, I want to talk about AI. A lot of people talk about, if it's AI, it has no credibility, is what people say, but that's not the case. Did you see how well that video I just put together was using AI? I've almost mastered this damn thing. Okay. And it's worth every penny that I would say. It's worth it. Trust me. It's just worth everything. So this channel has to be self-sufficient. And as we've said before, I have to be able to keep the income coming in from this channel to be able to run this channel. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I do have a life outside of here. I've got a part-time job that I'm doing, so I'll be gone sometimes. And I've also got some other nonprofit, endeavors that I've got involved in, some things that will help. I actually signed up for a CPR class this week, so I'll be going to that to get recertified for that. Things are starting to look up for me, that is. And I'm glad for that, because when things look up for me, it looks up for other people, because then I get my ass in gear. I can take my ass down the road and go help the next person. And that's exactly what we're going to do here at True Crime Investigates. Thank you so much for being here with me, ladies and gentlemen. I missed every single one of you, and I'm glad to be back. Man, the year off was definitely needed, because wow, that case really, it tore me up. It tore me up. And I will tell you now, Richard Allen's appeal will be undeniably denied. I just wish Judge Gull was back so she could go, denied, That's what I'm saying. I miss YouTube, Misty. And you know what, Misty, big shout out to you. Danielle Dalton, Vid Inquiries, Hailstorm, every single one of you that are here right now, every single one of you, Malfeasant Beats, Jimmy, every single one of you I've met in person, all of you. And you know what? I met all of you because of the Delphi murder. See-through, I didn't see you there. All of you because of the Delphi murders. And I look back on that, and if it wasn't for digging into that for so long. What's up, Kevin Richards? What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? I made that cartoon about the pigs at Indiana Packers, dude. You got to hear it. It was just for you. What's up, boss? What's going on, guys? So tonight we're talking about Charlie Kirk. And we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk, and we're going to talk about some other people. Okay, Sterling just hit me up. Let me text Sterling back and say, I'm on now. Jump on. All right. So I just sent Sterling a link and said, jump on. See, what would a live stream be if I didn't have Sterling sit here and like just piss me off about everything, right? But tonight we're talking about, Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson. Is he competent to stand trial? That's what we're going to be asking here. I'm going to see if Sterling's coming on, see if he does come on. Okay, he says he's coming in 5. All right. I'll drop the link. All right, cool. In the chat when Sterling gets here. So he'll be here in 5 minutes, everybody. Yeah, can't wait. Sterling, yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, the contrarian, Sterling. And I've got something else that's coming up that I'm going to be talking about on the next live stream with Sterling, and we're going to be going over this case as well. And this is definitely one that's got my interest peaked. I will be going to this. If this takes it to a trial, trust me, I will be there 100%. I'll be there. I will be there. All right. Because I cannot miss going to Kentucky to see, what's going to happen with this Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins, for murdering a judge in cold blood right there in his chambers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a quick little video here that kind of gives you guys a glimpse at what's going to be coming on next live stream. So check this out.
Power, justice, betrayal. In a quiet county, the man sworn to protect is now accused of killing the very judge who upheld the law. Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins. Trusted by the community, now at the center of a chilling conspiracy. Was it revenge, a cover-up, or the ultimate abuse of power? The investigation peels back the badge to reveal the darkness beneath. Sheriff Steins, the judge's murder. What's going on in this small town in Kentucky?
What the hell is going on in a small town in Kentucky where a sheriff walks directly into a judge's chambers, orders everybody out, and pulls the trigger not once, not twice, not 3, more than 4 times to make sure that the job was done? Is it a cover-up? Is it sex trafficking? Is it an underground network that was going to kidnap and murder the sheriff's wife and daughter? We don't know. But we're going to find out as we get into that case as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back and let's talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk. Who is Charlie Kirk? Most of you know him as a YouTuber. Most of you, if you didn't know him, you've at least seen him on television, on a media appearance on YouTube. You've definitely heard the name Charlie Kirk in the past couple weeks. He was murdered in cold blood while giving a speech out in public in Utah at the university. And moments after it happened, I was with some friends, and one of my friends said, look, check this out. I watched it and watched the guy get shot, unedited, and immediately was like, ooh, play that again real quick. I want to see that again. Okay, so like you could clearly see he got shot in the neck. He falls, his arms kind of come up. He kind of goes back and over. Okay, I tried to do a recreation of that. I'm still learning with the AI thing to be able to make it do that. I came up with some versions, but most of them have him going straight back or forward. I can't necessarily get him to replicate exactly what it is, but I would like to be able to go on there and like recreate crime scenes with these AI programs that I've custom put in here. That way it can actually create what it would look like if the crime happened. Now, in that case of Steins, we can see the whole crime happen, right? We can see the crime happen with Charlie Kirk, but we don't necessarily see the shooter. Okay. And then we have false confessions from another individual, a 71-year-old man who jumps up and goes, I did it. Shoot me. He didn't do it. Turns out he had child explicit images on his phone during that time. What a weirdo. And they searched his phone and found all that stuff. That's so weird. Hey, Delulu, what's up? Yeah, you can't unsee. I am live on YouTube, Marv. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? So Marv should have something coming up here. Cool. So I've been busting my ass to get my videos done, her videos done, and more stuff. So I'm really interested in the sheriff thing. I'll be going to Kentucky, provided that goes to trial. For sure, that's a case that I definitely want to be involved in. Charlie Kirk. I'd be interested in going and seeing what happens to this guy, although I feel that there will be a guilty plea in this case. I don't feel that this case will go to a jury trial. I think it's too open and closed. That's just my opinion now. It could go to jury trial. I mean, we watched Richard Allen open and closed. I mean, hey, I was there dressed like the bridge dude. Yeah, can't figure it out for fucking 5 years. And then all of a sudden, oh, guess what? I'm there dressed just like the bridge dude, but I didn't do it. Yeah. The bridge dude. Anyway. So why can't you find me? What do you mean? You can't find me on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know why you can't find me, Marv. It says that I'm public. It says I'm public, so I don't know. I'm just sitting here reading it. Send me a link to YouTube. Misty, can you send Marv a link to the YouTube video? I just posted it on my channel on my Facebook, Marv. Let's see if I can do that. Let me see if I can send it to you like this, Marv. And 2 minutes, Sterling says. 2 minutes. So we're beating time down until Sterling gets here, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. And hopefully Sterling gets in here in 2 minutes. Come on, Sterling. Get your butt in here, dude. All right, let me go pull up my notes here, and we're going to go over these. I'm going to go over these. You're not, but I will. So let me go ahead and pick this thing up here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing that we're going to go over is, why this case matters. Politics, free speech, crime intersecting. All right, so the assassination case, the timeline of events, what happened, when, how he was targeted, why he was targeted. We're going to go over the role Tyler Robinson allegedly played, law enforcement, media response. We're going to go over what we know about Tyler Robinson, his background info, history, political views, online activity, red flags, warning signs, if there are any, his current legal charges and status, competency. What competency means? It means is the person of sound mind to know right from wrong. Here you go, Sterling. And let's see if we can do it like that. Where you at, big dog? So for those of you that weren't here, let me go ahead and run you down on the Charlie Kirk case one time since everyone's here. And when Sterling comes in, we're going to go from there, okay? So here we go.
The countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever the hell you're watching from. It's time for me, Greeno investigates the unsolved as we go inside a true crime. Inside a true crime.
At Utah Valley University, September 10th, 2025. The air felt ordinary, sun on concrete, phone cameras up, a tented stage in the courtyard. Charlie Kirk, 31, founder of Turning Point USA, steps to the mic and wades into questions. Voices rise, some cheer, some challenge. That's America, right? The cross-current, the argument, the promise.
Say confidently, no. God is not done with America, and our best days are ahead.
12:23 p.m., one shot, not a flurry, not chaos and gunfire. Just a single, disciplined trigger squeeze from distance, high steel and flat roofline above the Losey Center. The round finds a neck. The stage folds into panic. Hands reach, bodies drop, someone screams, "Get down, get down." Sirens carve through the courtyard like teeth. Investigators say the shooter planned it. Not hours, days, a bolt-action rifle, stashed and ready, a rooftop bandage measured in yards, not feet. On the roof, screwdriver, prints, DNA. On the weapon, more of the same. And somewhere between impulse and aim, a note. Words that point to intent. Words somebody would later say were destroyed. When the noise finally fades, the headlines don't. A nation is already arguing about speech, about hate, about whether words can draw blood, or just maps to it. They give a name. Tyler James Robinson, 22, Utah. A manhunt spreads across glowing screens. A father sees an image and recognizes a son. The messages surface. Had enough of his hatred. And prosecutors make their move. Aggravated murder, firearm discharge, obstruction, witness tampering, death penalty on the table. But the story twists before it tightens. A 71-year-old stranger steps out of the crowd and says, "I shot him. Now shoot me." He didn't. False confession, obstruction, and on his phone, something darker, unrelated, yet it stains the narrative just the same. The signal blurs with the noise. Truth has to claw its way back through the rumor mill. Then comes the funeral that feels like a rally. And the rally that feels like a reckoning. State Farm, stadium flooded with bodies and grief. Flag scripture, thunderous applause crashing against tears. Powerful men step to the mic and call him a martyr. Promises are made, enemies are named, and then a silence. Broken by a widow, Erica Kirk steps into a place no one wants to stand and says something that doesn't fit the script of vengeance.
I forgive him.
I forgive him. She leaves the punishment to the state and the pain to God. Forgiveness offered into a room built for fury. You can feel the room sway. Closer, hushed. Meanwhile, the campus where it happened tries to breathe again. Students cross the same walkways. They look up at the same roof. They ask the question we all ask after the tape goes up and the chalk washes away. Why? Was it politics? Was it ideology? Was it the echo chamber that turns men into instruments? Or was it one person's choice, sharpened like a blade over a week of planning, carried to a rooftop, and released into a single irreversible moment? Freedom of speech, freedom to answer, freedom to condemn, freedom to forgive. But freedom never promised safety. At 12:23 in a courtyard under a tent, one bullet rewrote a life, a movement, maybe a moment in American history. And somewhere between the first siren and the last candle, a line was drawn, not in law, not in blood, but in the quiet question that lingers when the cameras leave, when words become targets.
We'll light our country and all who serve it, and the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Who's really safe?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back. And Sterling should be here. He was just here. Where'd he go? Sterling? Are you long lost in Sterling land again, dude? So I still haven't got my room all set up the way I want it, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to have like just a better setup. I'm thinking about doing things a little bit differently where it's just going to be a little bit different layout and stuff like that. Sterling says he's having some issues with the router. He'll be right back. Come on, Sterling, jump in here, man. I can't talk to nobody. I have a hard time doing that. I get bored with it if I sit here and talk to no one because I don't have anything to say. So let me just go ahead and just start you off kind of where I wanted to start off in the beginning here. So first, welcome back to True Crime Investigates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anthony Greeno, and tonight I'm here with Sterling Cox. Tonight we're going to deep dive into one of the most controversial cases of the last month, certainly of the year, the alleged assassination attempt involving Charlie Kirk and the man at the center of it all, Tyler Robinson. Was it a political hit? Was it a lone wolf gone rogue? Or something even darker? Let's break it down, ladies and gentlemen. Sterling, come on in here. The case against Tyler Robinson. So let's set the stage here. He's accused of targeting conservative firebrand Charlie Kirk in what's being called the assassin of a nation's case. But what actually happened? How much of this is confirmed fact? How much of it is spin from the media and political camps? Here's a question to the audience. Do you think that this was a planned political assassination or just one unstable man making a move? What do you think? Go ahead and post that in there. Do you think that this was a planned political assassination or just one unstable man making a move? I'm curious as to what you think. There's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of conspiracy out there. I shouldn't say one way or the other that one side is right, one side is wrong, because it's very, very possible that both sides could be right in several different ways here. I don't have a second screen, Misty, so I can't do the poll thing. I wish I could. Like I said, I'm still getting myself back on track and all that stuff. But who the hell is Tyler Robinson? You know, people keep asking his background, his mental health, his online activity. Those are all things that are being dissected right now by a lot of different people. And what we do know kind of paints a messy picture. It kind of paints that a man was planning out to take this guy out because he didn't like him because of views that he had based on his videos from the internet. So you can sit back, and now everyone should take a look and say why I worry about my safety a lot of the times and why I don't tell people necessarily like where I'm going, where I'm going to be at anymore. Because, I mean, I pretty much just get a bunch of crazy people that follow me around and like want to harass me. So, and they're all usually women, which is like crazy. Like I'm just running around from a bunch of chicks. But hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? Anyway. I'm just laughing. Sorry, guys. I want Sterling to come in here because I want him to answer these questions that I have for him. And plus, I know that he's been researching the hell out of this ever since we talked about it last week. And Sterling's kind of like my go-to guy to like do some live streams with, especially if I have something that's controversial here. What is controversial about Charlie Kirk? The fact that he'll sit there like you and me, and he'll have a conversation with someone, or he'll call someone out, or he'll break down what he thinks, and he's just a very good debate platform person. There's people out there that don't like him because of that. There's people out there that don't like me because I was right about certain things in the Delphi case, or they just don't like me, okay? Now, these people will be like so mad at an individual that if they know that that person is going to be at a certain location, like Charlie Kirk was, they'll show up there just to commit a crime like this because they don't like that person that much. You know what I mean? And that's not really right, because we talk about freedom of speech, but is freedom of speech actually freedom without any consequences? No. So you can say whatever you want, but what you say might actually get you offed by somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll go ahead and bring on my friend Sterling.
Hey, man. Can
What's
you hear me
up?
okay?
I can hear you perfectly fine. What's going on, man? I ain't seen you in forever, dude.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
No
Shout out to the
problem.
audience. I probably won't be looking at the chat much, but yeah, I'm so glad to be here. Um, it's been too long since you streamed, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay, man. I'm happy to have you here, dude. So, did you knew about this when it happened, obviously, right?
Right. So first of all, like I've had some connection issues. That's why I'm late, and so I wasn't really listening, and so I don't know what order what you talked about yet. I apologize.
You're fine.
So yeah. You texted me one day last week that you wanted to come back to YouTube, and I'm here for it. And I told you I'd be here, and you said you want to talk about Charlie.
Yeah, you do have some connection issues. I see. You want to talk about Charlie? There you go. You're back.
God,
You're
see,
back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's
That's,
okay.
that's frustrating. That's frustrating.
Run
I'm
it. We're
sorry.
new at this again.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
I know.
If I become a burden to this channel, I'm gonna leave because I don't want to
I'm
drag
gonna
it.
leave. I know, dude. I know how that feels. That's why I've been so sketchy to go live because I don't want to have a bad connection. You're good. Yeah, Sheriff Mickey Steins, Sean Mickey
Any-
Steins.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you mentioned all those topics, and I've been under a rock. You asked me, did I know it when it happened? Really, no. I have been under a rock. It's really boring, but I've just been really busy doing boring stuff, and so I did not follow the case at all until you texted me, and I honestly wasn't really interested. I hate to say that. Like, first of all, I guess I'll go ahead and say, it's horrible. It's horrible what happened to Charlie Kirk. I didn't like the guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a lefty or a righty. Like, I'm kind of independent. I kind of hate everybody.
Right.
I don't like what the guy was doing. But I just don't condone violence. So I just want to say that. Now I felt like, with that being said, like I felt like the guy was a dork. He's a big dork. That doesn't deserve to get you killed. But like I'm not trying to disrespect the dead. Sterling, wait a month. He just died. Stop. But no, I'm just being honest. Like I thought he was a big fucking dork. Right? The dorkiest dude, goofy. That don't make you a bad person, but like he was goofy and dorky. And then I think like I would even call him a loser. But the only person that's a bigger loser than that is the guy who says, "I'm going to be famous for killing that loser." That's the biggest loser, in my opinion. I just don't get it. Am I
You
doing
know,
okay?
yeah, you're doing perfectly fine, dude. That's actually pretty damn good. I get it too, and when I look at Charlie Kirk and I see the way that he talks to people, yeah, it does piss me off sometimes because I'm like, that fucking dude's an asshole, right?
Think so?
And I mean, I do think that he comes across as an asshole. I think that a lot of it, people look at him and they think, man, that dude is just. And I watched one person say, well, you just edit videos to make yourself look good. It doesn't make anybody else look good. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I just think the dude's a really good debater. You know what I mean? Like he can come at you with something and cite law from 1932, Section 15, Article 2, and know that shit. And it pertains exactly what you're saying. And he can own somebody like that. And I think that people get pissed at that. But like you said, that doesn't give anybody a right to kill the dude. Right. And
No.
someone who goes out there and just says, oh, I found an opportunity to do it and goes and does it. That's planned to me.
And so I was under a rock when it happened, so I didn't catch a lot of the reaction of the internet. But like I heard some people saying that, I guess like the left or maybe some people out there on the internet were celebrating it, and I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I personally just don't know who they're referring to, like who was happy about this. I didn't hear that, although I'm sure that there's some people who expressed that. It's just kind of disgusting. I was actually talking to a girl last night, chatting her up, and I said, "Yeah, I'm supposed to be going on my friend's podcast. Do you know anything about this Charlie Kirk thing?" She's like, "Well, from what I hear, he got what he." And she's like, "No, I'm not going to say that." I'm like, "No, say it. He got what he deserved." She's like, "Well, yeah." She's like, "He said some really like. Have you heard the things he said? It was awful." And I was like, "Show me one, because I'm going on this channel tomorrow. I'd like to know that, And she looked in her phone, like we were talking. She was looking at her phone for like 10 or 15 minutes. And she's like, "Oh, I can't find anything." So I'm like, "Okay, well." Okay, but what did you see? Like you've heard. Just give me like a paraphrase. Like what was he saying? Like what was the context of his message that was so offensive? And she just couldn't come up with it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, what could you come up with? What could she have come up with that would warrant that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I could think of a whole bunch of reasons. Like if I was a female, or I've seen females argue with him on things that she could have said that would have just bounced back and been a rebuttal. But I mean, for her not to know anything, it's a lot of the. I heard that this guy is. I mean, look at me, for example. You Google my name, you see bad shit, you think, oh, bad dude, blah blah blah, right? That's because things people have said. So same concept. You hear something about somebody and you're like, oh, that's a bad dude, bad dude, bad dude, right? And then
Well, no, you are a bad dude. You actually are. No, they're right. No, they're right about you though. They're right about
you. I love it. Yeah, they're right about me.
Yeah, they're right. But yeah, I'm sorry. You go ahead. You go ahead.
No, dude. I'm just saying, like, I don't remember what I was saying. It shouldn't get someone killed for doing that. So
right.
Here's my one question though. Is this Tyler Robinson dude competent to stand trial based on what you know of him?
They'll probably say yes. But like for something in me tells me this ain't going to trial.
I think there'll be a guilty plea.
I'm thinking so. But why it hasn't happened yet, I don't know if it's like that time like if it should have already happened or if that should be coming later. I don't know. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't see this going to trial. Do you want to talk about Tyler, that guy first, or you want to talk about freedom of speech, or what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to talk about like him being, competent to stand trial a little bit, because is he competent? Like someone who does something like this, is that premeditated, or is that like all of a sudden just like a moment of, oh, so pissed off, here's the time and go do it, like spur of the moment type thing?
Well, I think we first, like, yeah, I think that based off of those texts allegedly that he sent his lover, he incriminated himself, and he sounded perfectly sane. He definitely thought it all out. It was premeditated. We'll come back to those texts later. I wonder if I should have sent you some files and had videos pulled up and stuff, but I'm not that organized. I think he is fit to stand trial. The question is, did he do it, or is he a patsy? And I think we have to kind of address that first, because like I did a deep dive over the last 3 days, and there's a lot of people who just are not convinced that the story is legit. Do you mind if I say that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, they say it's a conspiracy theory, I guess, but the internet. I mean, surely you've come across this, right?
So, I mean, I found some. I'm trying to stay away from the conspiracy stuff. So I'm just trying to delve in facts, but no. So like, I just watch who I watch now. But there's a lot of weird stuff. I mean, you can't deny the fact that there's false confession in this case, where immediately after dude gets shot, some guy jumps up and says, "I did it, shoot me," and he didn't do shit.
And I heard he like took his pants down or exposed himself or something. I don't know if that was.
His pants were down in the video that I shared of him when they were carrying him away. But I mean,
and it just so happened that they found child material on his phone.
Yeah. Why would you even put yourself in that position if you're doing stuff like that? Like, but this dude has apparently done this before. His name's like something Zinn, George Zinn, or Dave. I don't remember. George Zinn, I think.
And have I heard that is that the same guy they said has been coincidentally at other major events in our country's history?
Yes.
I heard 9/11.
I've heard maybe I don't know, like a few places. Like I don't know about Columbine, but like some places where some shit have happened like that.
Maybe January 6th or something. I can't remember. I don't want to speak. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I bet he could be there. Yeah.
But like I heard he was in these different events. It just seems really, really odd. So it seems really strange. Now, but there are kooks out there who could false confess, and I mean, that guy might not be able to stand trial. He won't go to trial, because he sounds like a nut. But what's odder than that guy? Excuse me, confessing, is that when, I guess moments after, or some time shortly after the crime, Tyler talks to his transgender lover, roommate, yeah, allegedly, or maybe he's a furry. Somebody said he's a furry or I don't know. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But like in those messages that he sent his lover, he already knew about that guy who got arrested. his lover asked him like, "Oh wait, I thought they caught the guy," and he said, "Oh no, they just found some. That was just some old nut guy, you know." And they also interviewed someone who was wearing the same clothes as me. So let me get this straight. I got some issues here, and I know you want to get into it, but you're gonna have to stop me because this is important. Like I'm struggling with the whole gun thing being assembled and disassembled and where he had it and where it got there and then where he left it, and it's very odd. Okay, it's very odd, and the fact that he's making his getaway, but he's also what checking his news feed, like he's on X, like looking at the headlines and studying it and stuff. Which I mean, I guess that would be smart, like as you're getting away, but it all seemed very convenient that in that message, like I wish I had the list. In that message, he denied the patsy being the guy. He denied that other person they interviewed. He mentioned bringing the rifle, that it was his grandfather's. He fully confessed via text. Like via text, like I might make that call instead. There'd be no record of it. It seems a little sus. And yeah, I'm sorry, that was a lot.
No, you're good. So you think it's suspect that there's all this evidence that just points right to him?
Yes, and what was specifically with those messages, it was way too convenient that literally he said everything in those text messages. And part of it was like, the one part I didn't get, and I didn't see people talking about, one of them was like, "Oh, hello, my love. I was planning on taking this to the grave, until I die of old age." There's a lot of people dissecting his messages saying that 22-year-old, like Gen Z Zoomers, don't talk like that. And there's several things that he said, like squad car, vehicle, circle back, drop point. There's several things that he said that allegedly, I don't talk to Zoomers, but there's several things that he said that people say is just really out of character for someone that age. And it was very convenient how he just detailed every bullet point of the crime explicitly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he's either dumb for doing that or he just didn't care.
But, and sorry, I lost my point was that if he said he was planning on taking it to his grave, why didn't you? Look, why didn't you? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the notoriety, I guess. I don't know.
That it doesn't make sense. If he was planning on taking it to his grave, what happened to? Then he did a complete 180 and confessed every single part of it. Is this for what reason? Like he was not caught. He wasn't even a suspect. He got away with it.
Well, his dad turned him in.
But at that point, he had gotten away with it. Yeah.
Right.
But he was nervous. He was nervous about bringing that gun back, that rifle back. Okay. And because it was his grandfather's. And he was like, "What?" He's like, "What would my old man?" That's another one that, like they say, Zoomers don't say old man. What would my old man say if I didn't bring back my grandpa's rifle or some shit?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know. I guess we can't say who talks like what, right? We don't know.
I guess so. That's fair. I'd like to see some of his other writing and see if he talks like that. But hey, look.
Same. I would like to see exactly how that dude talks.
But okay, good. No, sorry.
No, go ahead. Run it. What were you gonna say?
So, like, all right. So, forget how he talks. Forget that those messages are overly incriminating in detail, like way overly. Forget about that. The rifle is a problem for me, and I'm still trying to figure out where it was found. Do you know?
I don't necessarily know the exact location where the rifle was found. I thought it was like near where he had shot, but I don't think.
I think it was in a wooded area. It was in a wooded area in close proximity, but like I don't think it was right around. Like I don't think he took it off the roof and ditched it right there and then made his getaway. They made it seem like he carried it.
Carried it in his pants or something like that.
Okay, so let me get this straight. How did the gun get up there? Do we know?
He took it. I'm assuming he carried it with him.
In his backpack.
I mean, either in the back. Did he assemble it up there? Is that what they're saying he did? Is that the theory?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm getting at. Is like, first of all, he would have to, if it was in his backpack, he'd have to go up there and reassemble it, or he'd have to. I don't know that they've said that. I guess possibly he could have had it up there ahead of time. I don't know, but it makes it. I think they were saying that he put it in his backpack, which means he would have to go there with it, reassemble it. Which, by the way, from what I understand, that would throw off your whole scope. Like you wouldn't be able to get
Yeah.
an accurate shot by reassembling it on the fly, and the very first shot is right on target. From what I hear,
Well,
that's
may not be right on target. He may have aimed for the forehead and hit the neck.
sure, but generally right on target from what? How long? 200 yards away?
Pretty good distance.
You're gonna have to be spot on, from what I understand. Like you're gonna have to be spot on. You like your gun's gonna have to be functioning properly to make that shot. And so, okay, so he reassembled it, and he got the shot off. But then what? Then he disassembled it before he got off the roof.
No, he put it in his
Right?
pants and ran.
Oh, okay. So he put the whole thing down his pants,
That's
right?
what I'm guessing. Yeah, he put it in his pants
I
and
don't
like
know.
tried to hide that way. Yeah, yep, that's what they're saying in the chat.
Okay,
But
okay. So like,
I
did
can
you
see
see the
that.
video when he jumped? Did you see the video when he jumped off that roof?
No, but I did see a video of him walking down the road limping.
Right, and I wasn't clear whether that video of him limping was like before or after. But first of all, he jumped off the roof. He could have injured his leg. I don't know.
Oh
But
yeah, I did see that. I did see that. Yes.
but when he jumped off that roof, like his knees buckled. Like he fell from like one story. Like it was a big fall. How you gonna how you gonna fall with a gun down your pants
Yeah,
and
that'd be
like
hard to do.
go down to your knees with a gun in your pants? Like how
It would break.
I don't understand that. So that's why people are saying he disassembled it, I guess, and put it in his pants and then whatever. But the problem is, like when they found the gun, it was reassembled. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, yeah, he could have set it up to do it again.
So he was in his getaway as he's checking his timeline. He like
He's checking his
disassembles
timeline.
his he disassembles his gun. He makes a detailed confession. He reassembles it and leaves it there. I don't know, man. It doesn't quite. I don't get it.
I mean, it's clear as day to me. I mean,
Oh, really?
Richard Allen did it.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's the Odinist.
The Odinist dudes did it. Yeah. Hold on.
Let me look in the chat because they might be telling me to shut the fuck up.
Go ahead. They are. They're saying you're a piece of shit. You're wrong. He had it in his pants. No. Okay, let's ask this. Is this a politically motivated hit? Was this on purpose from one party or the opposite, or was this encouraged or influenced into this dude's head?
Great question. Great question. That's certainly what it looks like. They're trying to say this guy was a lefty, that he was angry with Charlie Kirk. I think specifically around like gay and transgender issues. And he got the opportunity and he took it. Now, like I said, other people are looking at who had the most to gain from Charlie Kirk's death. And that's getting into part of it that maybe you don't want to. But then people are saying that the DNC could benefit from that because Charlie Kirk was bringing in a lot of young people to the right, to the GOP, and so I mean I guess they're making the claim that was dangerous to the DNC, the Democratic National Convention Committee or whatever, the Democrats, and other people are saying that he was becoming harmful to the Republicans because of his position was evolving on Israel. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
So like, I guess like first of all, and there's a lot to say about that. Like, I guess the GOP and Israel, our country and Israel have been weirdly like joined at the hip. It's a weird relationship. Like we have a lot of allies, but like I don't know. They're always like we're always pals in all these problems all over the world. Us in Israel, we're constantly defending them. There's been like you can't even say anything anti-Israel about their war or anything without being labeled as an anti-Semite. And I think like in certain states they were like made it illegal to protest Israel. And like I just feel like there's a weird marriage between us and Israel, especially for Jewish Americans. Because here's one thing that's really takes the cake. I forgot what they call it exactly, but like there's some sort of birthright for Jewish people that they can go over to Israel and they fight, for their army for like, I don't know, 2 to 4 years. There's a word for it, but what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What is that? Like we allow our citizens to go fight in someone else's army and then come back. What other country do we do? What other country does that happen for? What the fuck? And so, from what I understand, there was an evolution brewing, whereas Charlie Kirk was asking tough questions. I saw an interview with him and Ben Shapiro days before his death, and he was asking about whether or not what they were doing in Gaza was genocide. He was asking some really tough questions, and from what I understand, he didn't used to ask those questions. He had a debate. Turning Points had an event where they debated the whole thing, and from what I hear, Netanyahu and Israel was not happy, and they were one of his major funders. They basically, Turning Point was funded through like billionaires, Jewish billionaires here in the United States, right? They were pushing an agenda for Israel. Now, he was very careful not to accept foreign money because you can't do that. But Netanyahu and Israel just gives that money to these Jewish billionaires, and then they give it to Turning Point. So as soon as he started questioning the narrative of that Gaza war, all of a sudden Israel had something major to lose, big time, because there was people like Tucker Carlson questioning that very same thing about why are we letting people go fight in the foreign military. So you have to understand that that's going to cut down on their military, and I don't think that they would want that. I think that's bad for Israel. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I see that too, and I do see that he was kind of a powerful political figure when it comes to bringing new people on. when you're talking about, hey, we're the media now. Like, forget all these mumbo jumbo people here. We are it, everybody, right here on the internet. Us, we are the media, and like you can influence millions of people, as you can see. Just by comments that people make on here can influence thousands and millions of people. And so I think that in a way, yes, it's a politically motivated hit in a way. Okay. Because of his beliefs and his political standpoint and viewpoints and someone else's difference in that, he needed to be taken out because he was causing too big of a stir for this side. Right. And that's just my thought on that, is that in a way, yes, it's politically, but it's not something as political where a government official has ordered a hit and be like, hey, this guy here, go. That's just what I think. It could be, though. It could be something like that. I mean, we see the JFK stuff, all this weird conspiracy stuff that goes on. I mean, some of this stuff, there's truth to it, There's not all lie.
Right. Yeah. And like I also heard that, so we should get to the bottom of it, And I heard that they're not going to do an autopsy. There'll be no autopsy. That seems weird.
How can they not do that? I thought that was mandatory when anybody died.
I think in the state of Utah, I saw that like it's pretty much. I don't know if it said mandatory or common. I think it did said mandatory if it was a murder, that it was mandatory. But I heard that they weren't doing one, which is odd.
They're seeking the death penalty by firing squad.
I heard that. I did hear that.
Isn't that crazy, dude? You just want to shoot him eye for an eye.
Yeah,
about that.
Well, I don't believe in the death penalty, if that's what you mean. Like, I feel like the goal of arresting someone and prosecuting them is to remove them from society and get them, like, as far as to not be a danger to society. And you don't have to kill someone to accomplish that.
Yeah.
But now you touched on something earlier, which was like freedom of speech.
Yeah, freedom of speech. It's not freedom without consequence, though.
And I guess what do you mean by that?
Okay, so you have the freedom to say whatever you want, right? We can go out here and give our opinions and say, I think this and I think that. But I mean, we'll use the Delphi case for example, right? Okay, I think Richard Allen's guilty. Someone else says he's not guilty. I can believe that all I want, all right, but that doesn't necessarily mean that by me saying that doesn't mean that a consequence could come from that. I mean, you could get mad and do the exact same thing to me that just happened to him because you don't believe what I believe. So it's you may believe it. It's your freedom to say things, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to piss someone off to the point they kill you.
Right, but see, that's their problem. That's their fucking problem. Because, like, to me, we're like, I have a pretty strong stance on this, and I condemn the United States for a lot of things. I've traveled the world, and I've kind of had my eyes opened as far as what we're doing out there, and it's a lot of it. We're making money off of war and bombs and drones and all kind of horrible stuff. But the one thing that I always defend us on, the one thing I always defend us on is our freedom of speech. And I've seen other countries in years prior move towards like this whole like hate speech bullshit. And to me, what I'm trying to say is that words are not violence. Words are not violence. They're just words. And whoever hears those words chooses how to interpret it, chooses what their reaction is going to be, whether it's just to be offended and get on Twitter and talk a bunch of shit, or or maybe they want to plan an assassination, God forbid. You know what I mean? Like, that's on that person. Like, you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want without consequence, in my opinion. And I've thought about it, but leading up to this discussion, I knew we were going to talk about it, and I was like, how far do you want to go with that, Sterling? Like, what do you mean? Like, because, and you said earlier, just a minute ago, you said we have the freedom to say whatever you want, and that's not true. Like, you can't threaten people, right? Verbally,
you can't threaten, but you can opinionate yourself.
You couldn't, for example, call up another YouTuber, for example, threaten to come to their house and murder them, right? I'm just making up a wild example. Hear me out.
Hypothetically, if that's ever happened anywhere.
Hypothetically, you couldn't do that, and because it's illegal. So should that be covered under free speech?
No, that kind of shit shouldn't happen. And whoever does that should be in jail.
Whoever does that is a piece of shit. A piece of shit. You know, like, certainly should not be given a platform on the internet. I would never participate in that platform. I can tell you that.
Free dick.
Look, no, seriously, like, I really started thinking about it. And I actually started thinking about just that. I'm starting to think that threats of violence shouldn't be a crime. They're just words.
I'm starting to think that, I mean, it is just words. I mean, but until someone acts on it, I guess.
Right. So conspiracy, like, once you start planning it and shit, like that should be a crime. But just saying you're going to do stuff, it's just words, man. Because, like, if you threaten someone, they could say verbally, I guess they could make the argument that they felt threatened for their life, and then all of a sudden that justifies some sort of self-defense, right? Maybe like even a proactive self-defense, like, he threatened me, so I killed him, and maybe they'll get away with that. I don't know, because you can't, you know what I mean? But, like, I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like people should be able to say whatever they want without pushback, without censorship.
Yeah, well, you can. I mean, if you're talking about government, but I mean, there ain't no. I mean, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can go to the bar and say whatever the fuck you want, but it doesn't mean some dude ain't gonna smack you for it, right? I mean,
right.
That's the issue that you pose.
But there's only one criminal in that situation. It's the person who hit
somebody.
Yeah, that's it. That's the problem.
That's just go provoke. Okay, so then you're basically doing exactly what Charlie Kirk does: is goes out and provokes situations to where if someone wants to get stupid, they get stupid, but he's got the upper hand on it.
I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with Charlie Kirk going to college campuses and engaging with people. And, like, if you don't like what he has to say, then say something smarter. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Say something fucking smarter. It's real pussy, in my opinion, that you can't beat the guy with words, so you pick up a gun. Fuck that shit, dude. That's some pussy bullshit. I hate that shit. Because what you need to do is confront the person and say, hey, quit calling people up on the internet and threaten to come to their fucking house. What the fuck is wrong with you? You should pick up the phone immediately and say, I just saw a short on YouTube. Please tell me that that's not you. Yes, that was me. I threatened to murder him. I'm like, oh my God. What is the matter with you? Like, that should be called out immediately. But I don't think it should be a crime. This is my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, I was convicted of this crime. So, I mean, of a crime similar too. So, I mean, like, it's hard to prove. It'd be hard to prove that.
Well, yeah, not if the audio is on YouTube.
I don't know, man. I watched Bridge Guy get it filmed, and no one believes that shit. I mean,
fair enough. Hey, I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm listening. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, run it. Ladies and gentlemen, is the case that we're going to be covering tomorrow just as intriguing as the case that we're talking about today? Let me know.
Power, justice, betrayal. In a quiet county, the man sworn to protect is now accused of killing the very judge who upheld the law. Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins. Trusted by the community, now at the center of a chilling conspiracy. Was it revenge, a cover-up, or the ultimate abuse of power? The investigation peels back the badge to reveal the darkness beneath. Sheriff Steins, the judge's murder. What's going on in this small town in Kentucky?
Man, I kind of get into that music. It's like bow, 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 bow. All right, let's get back on track. All right, so here we go. The next thing that we're going to talk about, since we were talking about freedom, without consequence, or freedom is not without consequences, freedom of speech. We've talked about false confessions. We talked about a little bit about what we know of this Tyler Robinson guy. We don't know a whole lot, but we do know that his lover is a transgender, that they are apparently either one or both may be a furry. New sex fetish to me here that I'm learning about. People like to dress up as animals, pretend they're animals, and like have sex and stuff. So it's like, throw me in a mental hospital the day I come home and go, baby, I'm a bunny. Right? I mean, if I do some shit like that, lock my ass up and throw me away, because this motherfucker ain't gonna be no final boss bunnies running around here. I'm telling you that. All right? Like, ain't happening. So, furries, people that like to do this weird shit, are pissed off at a dude who likes to debate people and put them in uncomfortable situations, but they're into some weird ass shit. Now, this is not a bash to the LGBTQ community. Whether you're gay, trans, bi, straight, whatever the hell you are. If you've heard something negative about an individual, like Charlie Kirk, and you think that guy is against gays, he's a bad dude. Or vice versa. If you are a Charlie Kirk fan and you think that the LGBTQ community are bad people because there are people in that community that do not like him, both sides are wrong in that situation. Both sides are wrong. And let me tell you something. When individuals immediately judge someone that they don't know based on what something someone else has told them, is not a credible, and I would say that's not a moral way to base your judgment upon an individual. Now, if you've met that individual and you talked to that individual in person and you spent time with that individual, yes, I could see that. I could see you having an opinion on that individual. But if you just saw something on the internet, or you just heard something about this individual, and there are no facts to back it up except people's mouths talking, don't go for it. Refrain from participating in smear campaigns against individuals without 100% facts and truth. I've seen it happen. I've had it happen to me, and I've seen it happen to other people, and it poses a dangerous situation for everybody. People can be very mentally unstable from situations like that. So don't base judgment on people just because you heard something about them on the internet or saw something about Charlie Kirk or one video you made a decision. You didn't know the guy. I didn't know the guy. Just think twice before you go spreading more gossip about an individual, because what if he was your brother, your dad, if it was your sister or something like that? What you got going on there?
What?
Mr. Bling Bling? What are you living in Dubai or something?
Just dripping out here, showing off my drip. You see it, the Medusa. You see that shit.
Where'd you get this?
Huh? What's your mom?
Sterling lives in like some palace and some.
They're just chilling in Miami.
This dude lives in Dubai. Where are you at?
No, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I'm
All
from.
right, dude. I'll be down there, southern style.
Yeah. I'm here. I've been here. Just got back from a month in Thailand. I was out there surfing for a month, and that was great.
Again?
It's my third time in Thailand. I love Phuket. I love surfing out there. It's a good vibe.
Somebody asked me the other day, what does Sterling do?
Yeah.
How would you answer that?
Yeah. So what does Sterling do? Nothing interesting. Like, and whoever asked that question, get a fucking life. Because like, I don't know why you would be interested in that, because there's nothing interesting going on. There's nothing interesting going on over here. I'm telling you, trust me. Like, I don't like work. Like, it's just, I don't like to talk about that boring stuff.
Dude, people are interested in no Ace life. So come on. I mean,
yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's a good point. Good point. Yeah, but anyway, where were we? I'm sorry. Are we still on Charlie Kirk, or I saw you play that judge video?
Yeah, I was just playing it, telling everybody about tomorrow. Just like,
oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, I got some stuff I'm going to put together for it as well. No, I was just saying that we talked a little bit about each one of these things. It does pose some conspiracy stuff into this, especially when you see the that dude who jumps up and confesses, and he said his intent was to make sure the real killer got away. And why is that guy always at these weird locations? That's something I think should be looked into more. You know what I mean? Because that is some potential, JFK type planned, organized type of thing. Fall guy.
When you speak of Patsy, and like when you speak of the JFK thing, there are some similarities, because I guess the physician who attended to Charlie, pronounced his death or something, like he talks about, and I'm not a gun enthusiast per se, but they talk about that there was no what am I trying to say, exit wound, right, for the bullet,
right?
That it came in and it got lodged in his body, and it was just odd the way he and it was the way he phrased it. It was like it was due to Charlie Kirk's bone density, and it was a miracle. It was a miracle that the bullet didn't leave his body, because it would have surely killed other people that were behind him. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a weird kind of statement, that, to include like some miracle, as if he's a man of steel and he's Superman and the bullet just got lodged in him. And hearing other gun enthusiasts talk about what the rifle was and what the bullet was and the range away from it, they say that 100% should have been an exit wound. And I'm interested to know more about that. I'm interested to see that bullet, and I think to get that autopsy, that's a must. That is a must.
The autopsy would be a must. Now, there's question, and I don't know if you know this or if anybody in the chat knows this. Did he have a bulletproof vest on? Did he have any kind of protection?
Not from like any of the surveillance, that I saw, like the videos of him before, after. I didn't see anything like that.
Okay. So, because there was question on like whether it may have hit his vest and bounced into his.
Oh, you're talking about Charlie Kirk. Oh, I'm sorry.
Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, I heard people questioning that, but I looked at the video. He almost clearly just had on like a t-shirt.
That's what it looks like to me too.
Yeah, you would be able to know if he had a vest on underneath that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, here's another question for you. Do you think that he felt that? Did he die instantly?
I think he died. They say he died instantly. I don't think he felt anything. No, I think he was gone. Like my friend, Clay R15. Shout out to Clay R15. You met my friend Clay.
Yes, I did. Yep.
Stream, I think.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Or did you freeze? There he is.
Sorry, am I back?
You're back. Yeah, you're back. You're good. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
I was getting frustrated. I was like, oh, calm down. Oh, sorry. So yeah, my friend Clay R15. Shout out to Clay R15. He's got a YouTube channel. He's a gun enthusiast. You met him, right? On a private stream, I think.
Yep.
He's wild. He's wild. He sent me the video. He sent me the video personally, and like, I don't have a big social media presence, and so I don't. But my friend Clay R15, he's also like this truck driver, and I don't know if you know any truck drivers, but they're wild. They're fucking wild. Truck drivers say some crazy shit, and they talk on the phone all day. And they're very informed about what's going on and everything, and they say some wild shit. And so he's always sending me these videos that generally I don't open if I'm around other people because you never know what the fuck he's gonna say. You know, he is wild. He's really wild. He's a wild man, too wild, and kind of like you, and anyway, when he sent it to me, I was like, yo, is that for real? Because, like, well, you know how the internet is. And plus, he's always sending me this wild.
Wait.
Not saying he's dead yet, but you can just tell that he instantly died.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of scary. I don't know. It's scary. It's weird to see that, to watch that. I mean, I had to watch it like a couple times in a row. You've seen the unedited version, right?
I've seen a few different versions.
Okay. Yeah. What?
Sorry, I was spinning. I've seen a few different versions. I'm not sure which was edited or not.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, you've seen the ones where, like, you can actually see him get shot. No filters are covering it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I saw it. Looked like it hit an artery or something. Yeah.
Instantly, there was a lot of blood. Instantly, that was crazy. I mean, that was just, I don't know. It was pretty gross to see.
A lot of people are saying they're pointing to, like, there's all kinds of theories out there. One is that, like, his microphone exploded from within his shirt, and the way his shirt bounced and recoiled wasn't natural. The way there was no exit wound wasn't natural.
How do these people know what's natural and not? I mean, how often do they study people getting shot in the head?
Well, like I said, my friend Clay R15 is a gun enthusiast. He's got I don't even know how many guns he's got, almost 100, I think. And you can look at his YouTube channel, Clay R15, and he's a hunter. He's a skilled hunter and marksman and target practicer. So he kind of, I mean, like, I know that's just, you know, some guy on the internet, but like, there's other people, the gun enthusiasts and marksmen and people who have studied forensic pathology allegedly, that are saying that there should definitely, with a 30-aught, what type of weapon was it?
It was a bolt action rifle, yeah.
But the bullet was like a 30-06 or something.
30-06, yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying it's interesting. It could certainly be recreated in a various number of ways to see what it would look like. But that's neither here nor there.
I think that's what I'll do is I think I've seen some people actually doing some tests online already, some gunshots to a dummy. I think that I'll pull those up for next time we talk about this. You know, yeah, and be able to go over and be like, okay, here's what we've decided from, like, the shots. Did the bullet bounce? Was it stuck? You know, is there more than one shooter here? Is he the shooter? You know, different things like that. Where'd the bullet come from? Kind of just like try to figure out, you know, the whole thing based on our own just perspectives and see if we can decipher what happened without being pushed onto the narrative. You know what I mean? Like, without them saying, hey, this is what happened. See if we can, you know, kind of piece it together with our own minds.
Yeah, had I been more prepared, I would have sent that type of thing to you.
No, you're good, dude.
But you know, freedom of speech. Well, what I was going to say was that in there was just recently, I think it was Pam Bondi, who's in the Trump administration, that right after this they talked about hate speech and how maybe we should introduce legislation in our country that bans hate speech. And that I am adamantly against. Like I said that earlier. I think that's the dumbest way. And like, everybody, even on the right, just revolted at that idea that you want to prosecute people for hate speech and limit our speech even further, and immediately started pushing back on it to the point where the Trump administration backed right off of that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you define hate speech?
That's the thing, bro. It's dumb. Like it's all subjective. It's all subjective, and that's why we should allow all of it. Because once you start picking and choosing what hate speech is, there's going to be a judge. It's fun. Like who gets to decide? Like, and it depends on what offends you. What offends that person? Like if it offends you, then you think it's hate speech, and that's just dumb. You it's not a crime to be offended. It's not a crime for me to offend you. Like that's just really dumb. You should be able to say whatever. But I've said that already. So.
Well, people should be able to take it better. You know, if you can dish it out, you should be able to receive it just as well. I mean, and if you can't, then I mean, take it to the cornfield, I guess, but don't kill someone over it. You know? Yep. Run. I mean, right, everybody? I mean, I think I've offered a cornfield trip or two to a few individuals on the internet. I mean, usually that ended with smoking a joint and chilling out and talking it out with several individuals. I mean, yeah, I mean, dude, I probably got stoned with damn near everybody that came to that Delphi trial. Just about everybody. Not all, but a lot of them. And some of them you wouldn't even suspect. That's the funny part. And I won't put those people out there, you know, or anything like that. But
murder sheet.
No, I wish though. He probably needed
Kevin Greenlee. Kevin Greenlee look like a stoner. They look like stoners.
What do you think about? Oh, yeah, I guess we'll go over that next time. I'm trying to stay away from that whole area.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to be up here and not talk about that. But
it is.
Yeah, but yeah, what else did we want to cover tonight? Because
I just wanted to talk. No, you're good, dude. I just wanted to talk about this, and you know, why is it such a political uproar? Why are people so pissed? Why is it I was talking while you were gone. Why is the LGBT community at an uproar about Charlie Kirk? I mean, did he ruin their lives? No. This furry shit, I don't understand that. Do you know any furries?
No comment. Murder sheet. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. No, I don't know about that, but I think I've seen that. I saw a video about a furry convention. I forgot who went there. Maybe it was Alex Jones or something. It was or Channel 5. They went to a furry convention. Maybe it was the Daily Show. I can't remember. But so yeah, I've known about that for years.
A furry convention.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember who went out there, but yeah, there's a convention of furries.
I want to go now.
I bet you do.
Just to see what's going on. I'm gonna dress up like Bridge Guy.
Well, so what's been up with you personally lately? I hadn't talked to you in a long time.
Oh, you know, just avoiding bullshit, staying out of the hair of the long arm of the law. Trying to hide. Yeah, stay away from them, not screw with them anymore. Backed off of Delphi and just try to get my life back on track with some other things, and then trying to get back into doing this all the time.
Yeah, what's the future of this channel?
This channel, basically, man, what I'm trying to do is start covering other cases other than the one, all for 10 years, you know, and just go into them and kind of like doing what we're doing now. We're going to go over this. We're going to talk about it a little bit. If something new happens, we'll talk about that, the update on the case. We're not going to just sit and dwell on one for all the time. You know what I mean? We'll just kind of bounce around to different ones and go over them. And my goal is to go to these trials, if there is a trial or significant events, like if there's a great big master guilty plea or something in this case, go out there and be able to film it and get to see these people in person. Just because, I mean, that experience in Delphi was something way beyond what I ever thought it would be, you know, and to be able to go and actually see these things, you make the connections with the people that I've met when I was in Delphi, you know, all the big name people, the true crime people. That's a good way to network with individuals. They're good people. So I kind of want to just be that on a bigger scale, you know, back to where we were before.
Nice. I'm here for it. I'd like to be a part of it whenever I can. Yeah.
Anytime, dude. How often are you available to come on so everybody knows?
I could probably do I could definitely do 1 day a week. Like maybe like a Monday or Tuesday. I could do that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
on a Monday or Tuesdays. All
What
right.
is
So
it?
let's just
Yeah.
today's Tuesday. You want to shoot for every Tuesday then?
Yeah. Tuesday works good for me. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
That works for me too.
Was there any like usually you have clips and videos like that you play? And I know you might have played like one when I was in the bathroom, but like, do you have any other videos that we should go over and comment on?
Dude, I don't have any videos pulled up right now. I don't have a second monitor, or else I'd be sharing the other screen. But once I get the other monitor set up in here, then I'll be able to go ahead and share the other screen and be able to play videos without losing track of what the hell's going on the screen over here. So I'm almost there. I just don't have it all set up because I got to rearrange my room a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, so I intended to have some videos of Charlie Kirk. That way we could watch him talk, watch some debates, and then go over some of those topics. And I think like when we go back into this like next live stream, so what we'll do is we'll cover Mickey Stein's next, and then we'll go back into the Charlie Kirk thing because I expect an update between now and then. And then when we go back into Charlie Kirk, we're going to pull up some of the controversial things that he talks about: Roe versus Wade, drugs. You know what I mean? Women's rights for the abortion thing, the Roe versus Wade thing, and college.
We're gonna be talking politics, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, we're going to be talking politics. We're not just going to delve into just the crime aspect of it. I mean, I'm game to open this up for, more stuff, and then we're going to allow people to be able to call in, and kind of just give their opinion on things. So I'm just going to open the lines and say, if you want to call in, you got 30 seconds. Jump on, say what you're going to say, whether you like the dude, hate the dude, whatever it is, and then next. And people can just call in like that. And so that's kind of how I wanted to structure the channel, where we'll just end it with people just calling in saying, yeah, I think this, click next, this, click next. And then sometimes we'll do like live questions and answers where we can actually sit down and just talk to people. Trying to get it back up there.
That'd be great. Like having video clips to react to would be great because, no one wants to hear me go on a 20-minute rant, the whole time. And, yeah, having people up, like audience engaged. Speaking of which, are there any questions that I haven't looked at the chat at all? Like, is there any questions that we need to respond to? I don't want to like ignore the chat.
You know what? I know I don't want to bore the chat. Sorry, everybody. I forget that I'm here with the chat half the time now. Are there any questions that you guys have? Is there anything that you guys want us to answer for you? If you have a question, like what do you think about this or that? We've covered some topics about some things. I do want to look into that George Zinn guy a little bit more, and I want to look into the political aspect of things a little bit more, and then start looking at what laws are starting to be changed because of this, because there will be some, and see kind of what's happening there, and if that's maybe on the agenda or whatever for some party.
Well, yeah, like I said, they almost immediately came out and tried to push hate speech legislation, and everybody pushed back on that. Especially when you have people in the GOP like Alex Jones, for example, who has been silenced, who still doesn't have a platform on YouTube. Which, by the way, they're talking, and now I've heard that could change. I heard that YouTube is starting a pilot program where, and I guess that's why they brought you back, where they're going to allow people to say like whatever, but it's just a pilot program allegedly. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm here for it. I think they probably are looking at it from a business standpoint, and I would imagine that X is doing better now because they just there's everything on X. Like you can see
explicit images and everything on there. I know.
Yeah. So maybe
not like I looked for that or anything.
Yeah. Right. But yeah. Oh, sorry. Was there any questions?
There is a question by Misty. So, what are your views on Charlie Kirk? I think we kind of covered this earlier, but go ahead. I'll let you take it first. What are your views on Charlie Kirk?
Well, I mean, the guy was a dork. He dressed like a fucking dork. He was the dorkiest guy on that side. With the sport coat and the jeans and the goofy tennis shoes. He was a goofy dude. Had a bad gum to teeth ratio. I don't know exactly what you want me to say. Like I disagreed with the guy. He was funded by billionaires, Jewish billionaires in the States who clearly had a message to push, and I felt like he was a spokesperson for them. He was their mouthpiece, and it got real tricky. It got real tricky once his own party and once everybody was pushing back on Israel for him to be funded by those people became a problem. I saw someone in the chat. I did just look, and I saw someone in the chat say if he was funded by billionaires, I don't see why they would have killed him because he was so pro-Israel. Well, right, he was for a long time, but like I said, in the last couple of months, I cited examples of how he was starting to push back. And if I'm going to say something good about him, what I saw was that what I liked was that he asked tough questions. So he maybe had some hot takes and opinions too, but what I saw was him asking questions, asking tough questions, and I like that. I think that that's the best way to get other people to think about stuff is not to force your opinion down their throat, but to ask them tough questions. And I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube of epistemology. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
Epistemology is like a big word for like the study of knowledge and how you know stuff and what makes you convinced that you know it, And it's kind of a weird thing. Um, but you can look on YouTube for epistemology, and what they'll do basically questions. You ask questions to make the other person think. And once I saw how effective that was, I feel like that if your goal is to try to change people's minds, then you ask tough questions. You don't just give your comment. You have to make the person has to come to the conclusion themselves. You know what I mean? So when you just want to force it on someone, it never seems to stick. But asking tough questions doesn't necessarily work immediately, but it plants a seed to where they start thinking about stuff. There's a lot of So the one example where I saw it work, the street epistemology video, that he was questioning religion a lot, right? And he would question these people on religious campuses, college campuses that were Christian, and
Right.
like about their faith. And he did it in a way that was very polite, and he never gave an opinion. His name is Anthony Magnabosco. He runs a YouTube channel that's very popular. And he just asked questions. And once he asked this on the college campus, as he always does, he asked this person about religion. And he never gave opinion. He just asked tough questions. Years later, that guy emailed him and said, I've deconverted. I'm an atheist or whatever now. And that guy also has a YouTube channel now. But that's one of the only examples that I can think of where someone just changed their mind 180. And it happened over a long period of time.
Yeah, not instantly. So you're not. I mean, yeah, I guess you could make an impact on someone with one conversation, but it necessarily wouldn't be that moment.
Exactly. And I feel like that approach is needed. Like you need patience with people. You need to hear them out, ask tough questions, and go back and forth. And it requires a lot of patience when especially if you're dealing with someone who maybe doesn't agree with you. Like it's easy to let that turn heated,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know. Sorry.
No,
I
dude,
don't know.
you're. You don't know where I'm going. You're going to Brazil here for too long, right?
January I'm going to Brazil. Yeah.
All right, dude. Right around my birthday. So, what are we doing there?
Oh, surfing in Rio and stuff like that.
Oh, wow, that sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I feel like dialogue is important, and people should defend their beliefs, and they should be asked.
Is he spinning again? Yeah, he is, isn't he?
I'm spinning. Hey, but do we have any more questions before I go? My internet's acting up.
No, I think that I was probably going to cut out here in a few minutes too. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say thanks for coming on here. And then, yeah, look up about more on the sheriff and the judge thing, because that is so interesting. And I'm definitely going to that one. So anything else you want to add?
No, I've said too much. I've rambled enough, and thanks for letting me.
Okay, well, I'll see you. What do you want to do, the sheriff thing?
We can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow about the same time.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, or 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
That works.
9 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me, brother. All right. Thank you very much for coming, dude. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sterling, there he is. Right there. Are you gone? There he goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So Sterling is gone. And I am here. So let me pull myself right up into here, into the big screen where you can see my beautiful little face here. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time coming, and I'm back right here on True Crime Investigates. So, thank you very much, Sterling, for joining me here this evening. I didn't intend for this live stream to be this long. I kind of intended it to be a little more flowing, but we're getting back to it. It's been a while since I've done this. I almost forgot how to do this. But if you guys want to make donations, please do so. Cash App at cash4 Anthony Greeno on Cash App, or hit me up on PayPal at paypal.me/Anthony Greeno. This channel is fan funded by you. So thank you so much for being there for me, YouTube. I appreciate you guys. I'm back. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this in a much more professional manner. I'm ready to get back to doing what I love the most, and that is streaming live right here on YouTube and giving my insights into true crime cases, because crime and the truth have become a big part of my life. And so in closing, I will say this. You may think Charlie Kirk is an asshole. You may think Tyler Robinson is a lowlife murderer. You may think that his lover is an off-the-wall transgender furry. But no matter what you think, no matter how you feel, no matter what someone else says, even if it's pissed you off, does not give you the right to kill them or cause harm to them. Because in the end, every single one of us are equal. We're all men and women with mothers and fathers, grandparents, and some of us have children and some don't. We're all just people. We all make mistakes. We're all going to continue to make mistakes. But like I said, it does not give you the right to murder someone. On that note, everybody, I'm Anthony Greeno, live here at True Crime Investigates. Until next time, keep it Southern style, y'all.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, then hit that like button, share it on social media, then subscribe for updates, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action. On that note, everybody, I'm Anthony Greeno. True Crime Investigates. Keep it Southern style, y'all.